Hey guys, it is me, Jack, for today's video. I have another new adult recommendation video. So this is my second one of these. I've done already a new adult recommendations. I did one last year, so I will leave that on the screen as well as down below if you would like to see those recommendations. New adult for me is personally one of my favorite genres because it's so easy to get into. I find that if I'm in a reading slump or if I feel like I'm reading too much fantasy and I need to kind of get out of that mindset, I'll pick up a new adult book and just fly through it, and I will be sort of refreshed. But if you have any other sort of recommendation videos you would like me to do, maybe I could do one for standalones or like a broader category like books that make me laugh or books that make me cry, stuff like that. Let me know down below in the comments section. I would love to hear you guys' feedback. But anyway, let's get on to the new adult recommendations. In the first recommendation video, I mentioned Colleen Hoover, so of course I have to mention November 9. This came out after I did that recommendation video, and honestly, with this and maybe Someday, they are both probably my favorite Colleen Hoover book. They're like tied. November 9 for me was just so good, and like I knew it was going to be amazing, but I didn't know it was going to be that amazing. I was sort of surprised by how much I actually loved it. I think the concept surrounding this book is what makes it so unique, and I think it's such a beautiful and effortless story. I find the characters were really wonderful. I love the romance aspect, and honestly for me, and this is like with every Colleen Hoover book, but I read it in one sitting and I just get so invested in her story with her characters. It's just such a pleasant experience. Then the next book I have to show you guys is actually another Colleen Hoover book, but don't get it twisted because this one is actually free, and this is Too Late by Colleen Hoover. She released this like unexpectedly. Well, I didn't know about this. I literally was browsing on Twitter and I saw that this was posted and I was like, whoa, wait. She posted a free book on Wattpad, and then I immediately downloaded the app and made an account and everything like that. I read this in one sitting yet again, and I loved it. It is more of a mature new adult book. I find that there are more serious topics dealt in this book, but it's so well done. I mean, it's Colleen Hoover. What do you expect? It's not my favorite, but I think the fact it's free, the fact that it was like a surprise and everything like that made it so much more better for me. And it's definitely something I would just recommend to pick up because why not? The next book I have is Lick, and this is by Kylie Scott. This is more of a popular new adult book on Goodreads per se, but I still don't see that many people talk about it on BookTube. So I wanted to mention it because I actually really enjoyed this book. There were moments where I laughed out loud because it was that funny, and I found the characters were enjoyable, the romance was enjoyable, and it was just such a fun experience to read this book. It's about a girl who goes to Vegas, ends up getting drunk, and actually marries a rock star. So it's really funny. It's just is such a good new adult read. The next book I have is The Air He Breathes, and this is by Brittany C. Cherry. Everyone needs to go read this book if you haven't already. It is one of my personal favorites. I adored this book. I was recommended this book by one of you guys in a comment section. I think it was actually on my new adult recommendations video, and I read it that night and I just could not put it down. I read it in 3 hours. It was so wonderful, so beautiful, such an investing and mesmerizing story. I found that these characters were so well developed, and I just really felt attached. I felt for these characters. I felt with these characters. It was beautiful. There were moments where I was laughing out loud. There was moments where I was crying. This book does deal with more serious topics, but they are handled so well done. And honestly, I want to read more books by this author because that's how much I love this book, and I want to see what other books she has out and if I would like those as well. The next book I have is Addicted to You, and this is by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is another more popular new adult book. There is a lot of hype on Goodreads, and I have seen it multiple times here on BookTube, but for me personally, I haven't actually talked about this book really at all on my channel, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to, because I actually really enjoyed this book. It's not like my favorite new adult book. I found even though I did enjoy it, I didn't love it like I thought I would. Like I mentioned, there is so much hype surrounding this book, and I did feel like it fell flat, but nonetheless, I thought it was a great new adult pick. I found that it handled the serious topics that are featured in this book perfectly, with the two main characters having different types of addictions. I thought the romance aspect was well done. I thought everything like that I really enjoyed, but I didn't love. I'm definitely into continuing on with this series and even the companion series because I've heard each book gets better and better. That's something I love hearing because, like I said, I did enjoy this book, so I think I would love the other ones as I continue on with this series, and I would definitely recommend it. The next recommendation I have is an anthology, and this is fucking awkward, and this is an anthology that is written by 24 authors, and all of these authors are talking about awkward sex stories. It is absolutely hilarious. There were moments where there was tears streaming down my face from laughing so hard, and I haven't actually laughed that hard in a really long time over a book. It was personally my first anthology, and I really enjoyed myself. I think it's a great one to pick up. It is only 99 cents, and all of the profits go to charity, so I definitely recommend picking it up. It is such a funny one to pick up. It's definitely one that I loved. The final two recommendations I have are two books that are written by the same author, and that is Amy Harman. I honestly feel like I have to push Amy Harman so hard because for me personally, I noticed on the booktube community that not many people talk about Amy Harman, which is such a shame because her books are so beautifully done. She's easily become one of my favorite authors. Honestly, I'm slightly obsessed with her books because they are so wonderful. This is A Different Blue, and this is The Law of Moses. And my first new adult recommendations video, I talked about Making Faces by Amy Harman, which is another beautiful, beautiful story. I feel like after you read these books, they still stick with you, with the characters and the stories and the message that you get after you read these books. They will last with you forever, and I love that. I think they are just truly beautiful stories that are just so underappreciated. I haven't read all of her books, but honestly, I would definitely recommend to pick up any of the 3 books if they sound like your cup of tea. I would be so surprised if you didn't fall in love with them because her stories are just so wonderful. So those are all the new adult recommendations I had. Let me know down below what you thought of the recommendations I mentioned, or if you personally have any new adult recommendations that you think I would enjoy. I would love to see what you guys have to say in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!